Hey, y'all, welcome back to Mountain Murders.
Hi, I'm Heather.
And I'm Dylan.
It's a midweek, Dylan. Time to recap some news, crime news.
It has been a while since we had a good recap,
There's a lot going on.
so I cannot wait to talk about some current events.
Dylan, one of the biggest bombshells to drop this week, newly released Epstein documents.
Oh, wow.
Now, there's been a push for this for quite some time. A House committee released thousands of documents related to Jeffrey Epstein on Wednesday. Many of them emails that the convicted sex offender sent to his rich or influential friends or to reporters, and this spans over many years.
Okay.
Democrats on the House Oversight Committee initially released 3 emails where Epstein mentioned President Donald Trump. Republicans on the committee responded by disclosing the bigger trove of documents and accused the Democrats of cherry-picking a few messages out of context in an effort to make Trump look bad. So, Epstein, as we know, served about a year in jail. He pled guilty in 2008 to soliciting prostitution from someone under the age of 18, but then went on to renew relationships with all these influential figures. We're talking about Hollywood celebrities, academics, politicians,
Foreign dignitaries.
international folks, yeah.
Yeah, everybody.
So, I mean, here's my takeaway from this, Dylan, and we're going to talk a little bit about maybe what's been in these files. There's been such a push to release this information, and I really feel like we're not going to get that much out of it because it seems the same people are just kind of being mentioned over and over again.
Right, it's like they dump hundreds or thousands of pages
about Prince Andrew, and like we already know he was involved. We've had a victim point the finger at him.
Yeah, I mean, early on, that was one of the big figures that came up when they started releasing information. But I would argue this is why, in the beginning, when you have something that is this widespread and that many people find important on either side of a discussion, this is why you have full disclosure in the very beginning of a huge investigation like this.
Well, here's my thing. You've got mudslinging from both sides, and it's not really a political issue unless all of y'all's involved.
Right.
It seems to me like all these people are running scared because they're all on the fucking list, bro. I don't think we're ever truly going to get the truth from these Epstein files, if you will.
No, because I think no matter who is in control of the levers of power, it seems like this is being curated and, used in various ways. And I think we will never get the unadulterated, complete truth of any of it. And
No.
it's kind of ridiculous.
And again, I think it's just become politicized. It's mudslinging. And, both parties have been in power and had access to these files and could have released these files over the last, 5 years, 6 years?
Right.
Since 2019.
And what gets lost in this conversation, because now it's really gotten, it's almost been turned into just a meme or a phrase.
Right.
Epstein files, Epstein files.
Oh, he didn't Epstein himself, yeah.
What gets lost in all of this is there were many victims.
There were victims.
Many victims
Absolutely.
tied up in this of all ages. And it's like people don't even care about that part of it.
They don't even care. And the thing is, this is what's so disturbing to me, Dylan, is how we've been gaslighted by politicians, by figureheads, by just regular folks, that these kinds of sex trafficking rings don't exist, that pedophilia doesn't exist among these elite upper class people. It's all conspiracy theory, conjecture, lies, right?
Right.
But we actually have proof that it does go on and it does happen. But those of us who have been saying this have been labeled as crazy conspiracy theorists.
Well,
And I think we see a range of they're all involved. It's not a one side or the other. It's every fucking body. Celebrities, comedians, musicians, people who have ties to the financial world, dignitaries, as you mentioned, prime ministers, presidents, former presidents. I mean, come on. It's every fucking body.
Well, and that's why it's interesting when you do have a clear example of some kind of connected network that has access to all these influential people, being something basically like abuse or pedophile ring, whatever you want to call it. And for us to, as a nation, as a society, not to fully vet the entire thing out, scrub it, see, hold everyone to account who was involved, no matter what party they come from, or no matter if they're rich or influential or anything like that. As a society, that's what we should be doing with a situation like this. It should not be politicized and used as mudslinging.
Fodder.
It's ridiculous.
I think it's ridiculous as well. And at the end of the day, like I said, I just don't even think that we're going to really ever get the truth out of these files, if you will. I think they've been long destroyed, and what's going to be released to us is really never going to reveal any kind of truth.
Now, see, that's what I thought early on. Anything that was truly a smoking gun or anything like that had been cleansed out of it and destroyed at the very moment that anyone in power or in the government got their hands on it. And so I just knew that we would never really get what people were looking for out of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't think we're ever going to get fully a list of these are the people who were involved, that had sex with underage girls, that were involved in trafficking. I don't think we're ever going to see that.
No.
Because it's everybody. I think there's a lot of people, and this has been used as blackmail, and wealthy people have a way of, making things go away.
Well, here's the thing. If it is a big blackmail scam and you have all this evidence collected into one file or whatever you want to call it, you can't continue to use it if you make that stuff public.
Well, right.
So that right there let me know that we would never know the complete truth. And that is not blame on Republicans or Democrats. It's really just it just shines a light on the powerful.
Why? It shines a light on they're all corrupt.
Right.
In my opinion.
Or even if they're not directly involved, they're willing to cover up or use this information instead of having a conscience and saying the public needs to know this. There's a lot less of that nowadays.
All right, Dylan, our next story is absolutely horrifying. Now, this takes place in Los Angeles, so on the opposite coast from us. A Los Angeles man was charged with sexually assaulting a child inside a Hollywood restaurant earlier this month.
Oh, my God.
In a restaurant, Dylan. David Jose Lopez faces felony charges, including forcible lewd act upon a child under 14, which potentially carries a life sentence without parole. We know he's absolutely probably not going to get that sentence. Well, if he gets probation, that'll be probably successful, right?
Well,
Because
if he is,
people just never get in trouble, it seems.
if he is indeed guilty of such a heinous crime, we know that he will not get the sentence that he deserves.
Right. Authorities said Lopez approached a young girl inside the restaurant on November 5th and lured her to like a closed area that was out of public view, where he went on to physically and sexually assault this child.
See, the manner that he did this proves that this type of disorder, or whatever you want to call it, this type of a problem is compulsive.
Yeah.
And it is really beyond, almost uncontrollable for the individual that has these types of compulsions. And I think that's what makes it so dangerous. No amount of talk therapy or even incarceration or anything is ever going to stop these people that unfortunately suffer from this terrible, God, I don't even know what to call it. I mean, illness,
disturbance. I don't know.
But it's such a horrible, the effects of it on society, on the victims, is such a horrible thing. That's what stops me from viewing it as this poor person, has this sickness, if you will. Unfortunately, they deal with something that is just makes them a monster.
Yeah.
And at all costs, even their, I don't really care about their rights or anything like that, or their comfort.
They're very incompatible with society.
Yes,
and they don't belong with other people like us. I mean, just normal people.
No, they don't. And when they're identified, they must at all costs be culled from society, even if it is in a permanent manner.
Yeah, build a pervert colony.
Yeah, that's what me and Heather have thought about. Well, if you can't,
it could be like Escape from New York. You put them on an island somewhere, you deliver supplies, and you just leave them to their own devices.
Yeah, Lord of the Flies situation. Yeah. Let them prey on each other if that's what happens.
Yeah.
then but at least they're away from society and they can't harm any more children.
No love lost from me. It's just really sad, Dylan, because you have this innocent child, you have her family, and they're suffering this unthinkable trauma that is going to last who knows how long, right? And all they were doing was out having a meal. I mean, where are we safe anywhere in the world? Where are our children safe? I mean, you think being in a restaurant, a very public place,
Right.
is going to provide a blanket of safety? And now we hear this kind of story?
Well, yeah, in a setting like that, you expect even strangers to speak up or reach out to help if they see something going on, right?
Well, Lopez was taken into custody and has pled not guilty to the charge he's facing. Ridiculous. The audacity.
I would have beat his ass. I'm telling you right now. I would have beat the brakes off of this person. I would have put them in the hospital at the very least.
I don't know why people aren't doing more of that.
That's what needs to happen. When you see, now there's one thing.
This is the kind of violence I'm willing to incite and encourage.
There's one thing that the third world countries get right, in my opinion. The vigilante justice in situations like this, they don't wait for courts. They don't wait for some legislation to be passed and stuff. If someone commits a crime like this, oftentimes they will dispense the justice necessary very directly and very quickly as a community, not just like, say, the victim's parents or something, but everyone.
Dylan, moving along from this, we have more disturbing cases to discuss, and this one has made news. I don't know if you've been keeping up with it, but the missing 9-year-old Melodee Buzzard. Are you familiar with this case?
I am not.
Well, Melodee Buzzard is a 9-year-old who's been missing. Her mother, Ashley Buzzard, is not cooperating with investigators. She is not giving any information about where her child is. The little girl disappeared last month after taking a brief road trip with her mother. They do have some video, like surveillance, from a business, I'm not exactly sure which one, where they're like wearing wigs and disguises.
Oh, that's weird.
Almost. But this mother will not give up information about where her child is located. And it seems that the mother suffers from some mental illness.
Well, I must say it's not a good sign, right? As to what's happened to this child. When the parents don't cooperate or are very upfront with all the information in the beginning of a missing child report, it's never a good sign.
Ashley was arrested on a fake imprisonment charge, Dylan. She prevented a victim from leaving a location last week. The Santa Barbara County Sheriffs didn't really disclose a lot of information, but the victim alleged that Ashley brandished a box cutter and stopped him from leaving her home after, quote, visibly distressed after sharing information she appeared to regret disclosing.
Oh.
So I guess she told him something and then immediately freaked out.
Oh, like something connected to the child?
Perhaps. The man is a local paralegal, and he knew Ashley from years prior and had reached out to her in the search for her daughter back on November 6th. According to charging documents, and by the way, the story comes from KTLA News, the alleged offense involved planning, sophistication, or professionalism.
Oh.
Now, she has to wear a GPS monitor while she's out, before waiting trial for this false imprisonment charges. By the way, she's pled not guilty to that. But her daughter is still missing. Melodee was reported missing nearly a month ago by school officials.
Oh, so the parent, her mother did not even report her missing.
No, and then investigators soon determined, Mom Ashley had taken Melodee out of state on this days-long road trip. They went as far as Nebraska. When police went to Ashley's home to inquire about the child, following the school's report, of course, they could not find the little girl. And authorities say, she's been very uncooperative. She won't provide any explanation about the child's whereabouts. So far, she's not been named as a person of interest or been charged in the disappearance.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess they're still trying to build a case. But it's just very strange. So on October 7th, there is a video of them at a car rental business, and then another video on October 9th in the Colorado-Utah area. These security camera, this footage or whatever, shows them that they've altered their appearances. Like I mentioned, they're wearing wigs. It's like they're trying to evade detection.
Right.
Melodee is described as being around 4'6". She weighs 60 pounds and has curly brown hair and brown eyes. I mean, she's a really adorable little girl. And I just hope that maybe she's been stashed with a relative or something, because the thought of the mother doing something to this precious little girl just is heartbreaking.
Oh, she's beautiful.
She's a very beautiful little girl. Look at that smile.
God, we can only hope that she's found to be safe and okay in someone else's care. But like I said, typically, well, I think we all know in the back of our mind that this usually is not a good situation.
It usually doesn't end well.
It's not a good situation.
No.
Oh my gosh. I just don't understand people. I really don't.
And I don't know if this is true, Dylan, but just based on as much, like research as I do, and I spend a lot of time reading crime news, reading crime stories online about different cases, it just feels like there's been this uptick in the last couple of years in these child abuse cases, child deaths.
Right. Like, is
disappearances of children, and then you find out they've been murdered.
What's the age-old question? Is that happening more now, or we just see it more often?
Well, Dylan, this is one of the most disturbing stories that I've heard, aside from this poor little girl being missing. Another case involving a child, and I didn't even want to talk about it, but it's just such a fucked up case. I wanted to tell y'all about it, because what kind of human being can do this?
Okay.
So a 23-year-old man has been arrested months after he was accused of returning his infant son to the child's mother dead in a stroller.
What?
Yeah.
I've never heard of anything like that.
On November 13th, Anthony Evans was arrested following the death of his 2-month-old child, Kason Flowers, in April of this year. This happened in Chicago, by the way. So the child was not named in the statement, but family has posted on Facebook. So I guess local news outlets are now able to get that information just from the family's Facebook pages, I should say. On April 28th of 2025, Kason was found unresponsive in a Chicago, Illinois home. The child was later pronounced deceased at the hospital. His family told doctors that he had been dead. His family told doctors that, he had been with his dad for a week. Mom had given dad permission to have the son for a week.
Okay.
Dad returned the little boy in a stroller, saying that he was asleep and had like a blanket over the stroller, which a lot of parents do that to protect the wind or the sun out of their baby's face, right?
Yeah.
So he returned the child like that.
And that's not uncommon, right?
And then I guess his ploy was that he was going to do this and then make mom think that the baby died on her watch or something.
Now, could you imagine you get your child back, they're in the stroller, they're sleeping, which means they probably had a good day, and now they're tired and getting some rest. You just leave them alone for a little while.
Well, and that's kind of what mom did. Mom just thought, he's sleeping, I'm not going to bother him. She just left him in his little stroller.
And then you pulled a blanket back.
And then and then realized her son was deceased. Now, here's the thing, Dylan. The family's relaying this information to doctors, but doctors are like, wait, hold up a minute. This child has been dead for 6 to 8 hours.
Oh, my gosh.
Meaning he had died when he was in dad's custody.
Right.
I mean, this is just wild. And the thing is, the child was unresponsive. He was black and blue. A coroner ruled that Kason died from multiple injuries as a result of child abuse. Now, so far, Evans has not been charged with the child abuse.
No,
I'm assuming that will come. But what the fuck, dude? You asked to see your baby. Can I have my baby visitation, whatever, for a week? And then you beat and abuse the baby and kill it?
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
And then instead of being distraught that something's happened to your child, you just try to play it off, try to freak everybody or fake everybody out.
This little baby.
Yeah.
And then you're a sicko. You're going to send it home to its mother.
And act like everything's fine.
Yeah.
God. A monster.
A monster, Dylan. I mean, it's just so cruel. I cannot wrap my head around these monsters.
I've never heard of anything exactly like that. That's very, very wild.
This is very strange, Dylan. Now, this is another case that's a little bit out there. A Nevada woman, she's also a former adult film actress, was accused of beheading the father of her children after she married the man's son.
Oh my God, dude. What is up with this true crime news? It's like the worst ever.
Henderson Police Department, which is in Nevada, said that Devin Michaels, age 45, was charged with murder in connection to the death of 47-year-old Jonathan Willett. Now, this was in August of 2023. At the time, authorities said officers found Willett's decapitated body in his home.
Okay.
So his head was severed. It was not located at the crime scene. There was also a chemical smell and fumes coming from the body.
Now, man, when you sever someone's head and take the head with you, you're on a whole nother level.
Something extra.
Yeah, that's very depraved.
Michaels later said she hit Willett's head with a wooden stick, which caused him to go limp, according to an arrest report. Detectives asked Michaels if it was possible that she killed Willett and didn't remember, and she answered that that was very possible. Now she is on trial. And the district attorney, John Giordani, I'll get that out. I kept wanting to say Giovanni, and I'm
Right.
like, it's Giordani. Why do I keep saying Giovanni? Giordani alleged that she had this very disturbing motive. This prosecutor believes that Michaels killed Willett so she could start a new life with their children and her husband, who happened to be Willett's son. So she wanted to get John out of the picture so she could be with his son.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's normal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I don't know where your dad's at. I don't know where his head is either.
Now, her defense attorney is trying to say that the son, Devier Willett, killed his father, and that, she's being blamed for it. But it was actually the son who did it.
Okay. Well, that should be an interesting trial, right?
Well, she pled. Here's the thing. She reached a plea deal with prosecutors. She is pleading to second-degree murder. But during the summer, she withdrew her plea, and that is why she is now on trial.
Oh, okay. So they were offering second-degree murder, and now she's refusing and saying, I'm completely not guilty.
I mean, and how you go that far? Like, it's one thing you kill somebody, but then you're going to decapitate them?
Well, and then to act like you don't have any memory of doing any of it? Because that's pretty involved, removing a head from a body.
It's very involved. Very involved, Dylan. Now let's talk about this. A man is in custody after allegedly calling 911 in Phoenix, Arizona, and telling dispatchers that he killed his girlfriend in what authorities are calling a brutal murder. Now, this happened about 3:40 a.m. on November 7th. Phoenix police responded to a 911 call from 47-year-old Jeffrey Rael. He allegedly told dispatchers that he had killed his girlfriend and that he had to kill her because she was possessed.
Oh.
Yeah. Officers arrived at the home and they found Rael's longtime girlfriend, Paxton Wallace, 31 years old, suffering from multiple wounds consistent with a sharp bladed instrument. Police recovered a blood-soaked chainsaw from the kitchen and said that the victim was unrecognizable.
Oh, my God.
What the hell?
It's like something out of the Evil Dead movies.
Rael was allegedly armed with a hammer and a cross when police arrived, but he was booked in the Maricopa County Jail on first-degree murder charges, set with a $1 million. The bond was set at $1 million.
Okay, so do you think that this person is maybe a schizophrenic or something like that?
Possibly. Now, he has a criminal history, but according to relatives, Wallace was trying to end the relationship with him. So I don't know if he just snapped and killed her or if he does have maybe some sort of psychotic break from reality. I don't know. I don't want to diagnose him, but
Well, I got to say,
this is really extreme
if the person
behavior.
the person I'm dating or living with keeps telling me I'm possessed with a demon, then that I would probably look for an exit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how exactly do you determine that your partner is possessed by a demon?
Well, I don't know.
Is there like a list?
Well, if they're like,
You kind of go down like a checklist?
well, if they're
Did you take a quiz online?
well, I know a few signs, right? If I was to experience something like this, if they're speaking an ancient dead language that not even scholars or anyone knows, then that's a good sign.
Okay.
if they are
Like some ancient, like Mesopotamian language.
yeah, something
Okay.
even predates Sumerian,
Yeah.
right? If they are crawling up the walls and hanging out on the ceiling, another good sign.
Well, I have seen some folks on meth who can do that kind of thing.
Oh, crawl up walls.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's either meth or a demon.
Okay. Well, I saw that BuzzFeed has a quiz now where you can like take the quiz and find out which demon you're possessed by.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. You shouldn't play around with stuff like that.
With BuzzFeed quizzes.
Well, just with making fun of like demons and stuff.
You shouldn't make fun of them.
No.
You can't be like, fuck you, Beelzebub.
Well,
I'm not scared of you,
there's always the religious aspect
Lilith.
with demons and stuff like that. But I think maybe they're just low frequency beings and that sometimes they inhabit people.
Okay, so you do believe in the existence of, what are you saying, like an evil energy, an evil presence,
Yeah.
some kind of being? So it's like a supernatural being?
Well, I don't know if it's supernatural. It just could be something that it exists in like the negative spaces of the energy realm.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
And then when people do see these possessions, obviously, if you are religious, that might be why that's in the religious tenets.
Well, Dylan, it does seem to be like there is this ongoing battle between good and evil in the world.
Well, I have to say,
And I'm not a religious person, but I have noticed lately, I'm like, bro, like there is some kind of spiritual battle, it seems, between good and evil in this world.
and I think when you use some substances that you open yourself up to be occupied by these beings.
You
right?
think so?
Yeah, like I think alcohol, for instance. People downplay it because it's so prevalent in our society and it's been around for hundreds or thousands of years. But when people are completely different, like, oh, he or she is a nice person when they're not drinking. But then when they get, that alcohol in them, they completely change into like a monster.
The devil.
An angry, just, out of control person.
Yeah.
The blacking out and still up on your feet doing things. That's kind of weird. And then you have like meth.
Like a mean drunk.
The meth stuff with these people that are like, hunched over, hands on the ground, not falling over.
But they're like pop locking and dropping.
They're
too?
not. They're in these weird positions.
Yeah.
That are very unnatural for the
Yeah.
human body for you to not just fall out on the ground. I don't know. And the way it just uses their body up and completely changes them forever. There's hardly any going back from that look.
Can charge. Well, it also, I feel like, can create like almost like a psychosis among people.
Yeah.
And it's like they're never quite right after that.
Right.
It's the same thing with like people who drop acid and have some bad trip and like never come back from it.
Yeah. It's very
Like
disturbing.
a burnout.
And it makes me wonder, and just seeing these people, the way they're acting, it could just be neurological stuff. But makes me wonder if they are indeed possessed by a low frequency being.
So you do believe in demonic possession?
I believe in something. Does that make
Okay,
sense?
right.
And that's not me being anti-religious either. I just don't know what it is.
You don't know what it is.
Right.
Interesting, Dylan. I always like to hear your perspectives.
Okay.
All right. So a South Carolina firing squad has executed a man on Friday, the third person to die by that method in the state this year.
They say South Carolina is on a tear with the death rows.
Florida, too. 3 prison employees, all with live ammunition, volunteered to carry out the execution of Stephen Bryant, age 44. He was pronounced dead at 6:05 p.m. Bryant killed 3 people in a 5-day span in a rural part of the state back in 2004. Like he went on some kind of killing spree. And he chose to die by firing squad instead of lethal injection or the electric chair.
Okay.
He made no final statement and briefly glanced toward the 10 witnesses before the hood was placed over his head. And then about 55 seconds, shots rang out. He made no noise. The red bullseye target that marks the location of his heart had flown forward off of his chest. So clearly someone had gotten him.
Hit the bullseye.
He had a few shallow breaths and then a bit of a final spasm. So it took him about a minute to die. Doctors checked him with a stethoscope after that minute and pronounced him dead.
All right. So what are your thoughts on the firing squad?
Well, it seems to be a quick, cheap way to get rid of somebody, I guess.
Well, honestly, if I had to choose for myself, I think I might choose that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's better than being strapped into all that stuff and having all those shots with the lethal injection, and it kind of it's a whole process.
Right.
And the same with electric chair, takes a while for them to get you right, and you just know and we were discussing this, even though these people have done heinous things, and if they are guilty of their crime, I think they deserve to pay the ultimate price. Knowing when you're going to die is really strange, right? It's what most people don't experience that. And so I'm sure that comes with a lot of issues or feelings that
anxiety, fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Republican Governor Henry McMaster denied clemency for Bryant, according to his office. No South Carolina governor has offered clemency since the death penalty resumed in 1976. So that's an interesting fact.
Oh, so you're just not going to get it here.
Probably not. For his final meal, Bryant had spicy mixed seafood stir fry, fried fish over rice, egg rolls, stuffed shrimp, 2 candy bars, and German chocolate cake.
Damn.
That's a man after my heart there. I love some German chocolate cake. So a lawyer named Bo King, who works on death penalty cases in South Carolina, said Bryant had a genetic disorder, was a victim of sexual and physical abuse by relatives, and that his mother's binge drinking had permanently damaged his brain and body. So he had impairments left from childhood and tormenting memories of childhood. So of course that's to blame and not his actions.
Well, yeah, it just made him want to go out and kill a bunch of random people.
Yeah.
Because they happened to see him on that day.
Yeah.
I don't know how all the other poor people that have some type of abuse in their life and childhood, how they make it, how they just go on, try to pull the pieces back together and refrain from killing people. It's amazing.
I don't know, Dylan. There's something, I guess, to say for the death penalty.
If everyone that was abused growing up in their childhood or any time in their life, a victim of sexual...
Use it as an excuse to lash out and misbehave.
Yeah, the world would be on fire. Because there's so many victims out there.
Let me just say, of my friend group, when I had a friend group, of my group of friends, I was hard-pressed to find a friend who hadn't experienced some form of like trauma as a child, like child sexual abuse or physical abuse. I mean, I think I have like one friend who's never experienced it in her life.
Right.
But everybody else seems to have some fucked up story, man. So, I mean, there's a lot of us out there, but we just don't all choose to act out. Which
really begs the question, is that just like part of humankind to do these type of horrible things? This almost animalistic stuff to each other? And that in the modern day, in modern society and civilization, if you will, where we have these constructed expectations. Well, you know what I'm saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is society holding people back from just living out their true nature?
I often wonder that myself. I think that's a really good question, Dylan.
I would never, ever want to do that to anyone else. Harm them, overpower them, any of that stuff makes my stomach turn even thinking about it. So I don't know.
I mean, I understand what you're saying. I mostly just want to have, like, my flight instinct kicks in. Like, I mostly just want to retreat and get away from it.
Right.
I don't want to get involved in some situation where I feel like it's, it's me or you.
No, I don't.
Or just, I'm mad at you, so I'm going to kill you.
No,
because I'm mad and I
crazy.
Don't have control over my feelings right now.
The only way I would kill someone is if they were trying to kill me.
Yeah.
Or attack me and I was afraid that they might kill me.
I don't know. It's just so strange, Dylan. Another disturbing tale here. A Florida boy charged with murdering his mother took a photo of her corpse and then sent it to a friend.
What?
Derek Rosa was 13 when he allegedly stabbed his 39-year-old mother, Irina Garcia, 46 times as she slept in her bed in their apartment in Hialeah, or Hialeah, Florida. This was on October 12th of 2023. Prosecutors are now detailing Rosa's alleged actions in a motion filed by the Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office. The motion alleges that Rosa documented the killing and told at least one friend about it before he called the police.
So he took some selfies or took some snapshots.
Yeah, so shortly after murdering his mother, Rosa photographed his mother's body, allegedly, in a pool of blood along with a handgun. He also took a selfie with his hand covered in blood. Prosecutors said in a motion that less than 10 minutes after taking these photos, that's when he finally made the first of several phone calls to a friend in another state. During that conversation, he allegedly told his friend that he would be sending photos and asked the friend to tell him, what do you think? I want to hear your thoughts on this.
Oh, my God.
Prosecutors wrote in the motion that Rosa proceeded to send those images of his mother's corpse to this friend and the picture of his hand.
So imagine being the friend. Do you think you're going to get some silly meme or something like that? Or some, story of the day people are discussing? And it's this.
I know. What the heck? Well, the friend says initially they thought this was some kind of joke when they received these images and then learned they were real. And so they were kind of alternating between feelings of shock and disbelief, as I imagine most of us would be feeling that way. The October 12th date of the stabbing was significant, according to prosecutors. Rosa had a fascination with Jason Voorhees, the hockey masked killer from Friday the 13th horror movie franchise. I think we probably all know who Jason Voorhees is. And of course, he often used a machete to kill his victims. So prosecutors claim that Rosa had said he would be going as Jason for Halloween in messages to friends prior to the stabbing and had sent those, I guess, maybe like the night before he killed his mom.
Oh, so they think it's a joke or something.
Rosa reported the murder in a 911 call. He confessed to the crime and detailed his actions while speaking with the operator. He was pretty upfront about it.
Now, and I think that when people do that, commit a heinous crime or bad murder like this, and then they call and tell 911 or the authorities that first arrive on scene, tell them everything, or just kind of nonchalant about it, I think there's definitely some mental issues with someone like that, right? They're not trying to hide. They're not trying to run from it. They're just like recounting what they did.
Well, police soon arrived at the apartment, like once they get this phone call. They noted bloody footprints, allegedly matching Rosa's, leading from the bedroom to the front door. Now, his defense attorney is trying to point the finger at Garcia's husband, Frank Ramos, as an alternative suspect.
Okay.
Even though the son calls and confesses.
And sends pictures.
It was the stepdad. So this stepdad apparently was in Georgia at the time of the killing and has a solid alibi.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to defend what he did with this type of evidence, right? You have friends saying not long after the murder, I received these pictures, disturbing images.
I get defense attorneys have a job, but I just love when they just pull something out of their ass and throw it at the wall to see if it sticks.
Well, I think sometimes they know that their client's guilty, but they still kind of, got to put a case together or a defense together, if you will, and they know it's not going to work, and maybe they don't want it to work, right?
Well, I guess you could say maybe they're sabotaging their client.
Well, yeah, they're just going
unethical.
through the motions because, someone has to be defended, but, maybe they don't want them to get off.
The victim's newborn daughter was sleeping in the same room as her mother at the time of the killing, but the baby was unharmed. So this guy's pled not guilty to the charge of first-degree murder. And a court hearing on the defense's request to present Ramos as an alternative suspect is scheduled to take place later this month. Ramos, the husband that was in Georgia and has a solid alibi at the time of the murder.
That doesn't make any sense. So he stabbed the victim over 40 times. That's not an easy thing to do.
No.
That takes time. It takes effort. You'd literally be out of breath after doing something like that.
Wow.
Okay. Thanks for that. All those disturbing cases in a row, Heather.
You're welcome, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just wanted to really rain on your parade today.
The true
You were
crime.
in a good mood, and I was like, I need to stomp on this good mood.
Well, no, I'm just going to have to cleanse my soul now with kitty videos.
Okay, we're going to talk about this, our final case that we are covering this week. A former Ohio State University professor, accused of killing his wife, claimed to police that he had stabbed her and tried to die by suicide after being targeted in a sextortion scheme.
Okay, that makes sense.
76-year-old James Hill is facing an aggravated murder charge in connection with the death of his 64-year-old wife, Mary Hill. This is according to court documents, and this is courtesy of Cleveland.com. Now, it's unclear if James has entered a plea or obtained attorney. I don't know about all that. On November 9th, police responded to the couple's home, which is located in Upper Arlington. After James briefly placed a 911 call asking for help, he allegedly told investigators that a woman he met on a dating site and with whom he had shared nude photos was demanding $15,000 from him.
The 76-year-old sending nude photos?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my gosh.
Are you body shaming him?
No.
Are you being ageist?
Why? I wouldn't send nude photos of my 47-year-old body.
Well, that sounds like a you problem.
Okay, so he alleges he was being sextorted.
Right. So I've got your nudes. I want $15,000. He claimed the woman threatened to share these photos if he didn't pay her. And so James claims he could only think of one way out of the situation.
To kill his wife and himself.
James allegedly told police that he stabbed his wife in the chest while giving her a massage and then apologized to her as he did it. His wife was pronounced dead at the scene.
That makes no sense. I mean, I just don't understand. Like, if you can't deal with it, that's between you and yourself. But I think if you gave your wife an option of knowing that you sent somebody, some random person online nudes of your 71-year-old beautiful body,
I mean,
or being killed,
even if this blackmailer decides to release these photos, I mean, it's like not the worst thing in the world. And honestly, where are they going to be released?
Yeah.
Because who's going to seek out photos of a 71-year-old naked former college professor?
Well, I think the victim would prefer to just know and maybe deal with that.
Yeah.
But I must say, them adding that kind of value to my nudes, that my nudes are worth $15,000, it could be taken as a compliment.
Yeah. I mean, you can try to blackmail me, but it ain't going to work. I'm going to be like, show him that cooter. I don't care.
You just go around.
Show him my cooter cat. Meow, meow.
With T-shirts, pictures of your cooter on it. You just release the cooter first.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah.
I'm not going to pay you $15,000.
Well, I don't have $15,000.
I mean, if some fool wants to look at my cooter, that's their problem.
Oh, my gosh. All right, Heather, thank you for that.
You're
I've
welcome,
enjoyed the
Dylan.
recap. It's been a while. And thanks to our listeners for tuning in, right?
So much chaos in the world.
God, there really is.
What is happening?
I don't know. I mean, like, do you even bother paying into a 401k right now? I mean, who cares, right?
Do you even bother planning for the future?
I just plan to see what happens next week.
Because you might kill me next week because you sent a picture of your junk to some woman online who's trying to extort you. And you don't got $15,000.
Well, look, for one, my nudes would be worth way more than that. And for two, I don't send pictures to anyone, including you.
Yeah, you don't talk to anybody, really.
All right. Sorry. So, on a beautiful fall day, we hope everyone enjoys themselves.
Having a great weekend. I hope everybody's having a great weekend.
We are careening towards Turkey Day. Get your plans laid down now.
Careening.
Go ahead and buy that turkey before they're outrageous.
Yeah, I've already heard that shopping is a nightmare. So the pre-Black Friday shoppers are out in hordes.
Oh my gosh.
Lines are long. Our buddy told us that the line was backed up all the way from like the register to the back of the store.
I'm not standing in that line.
In a box store today.
Yeah.
That's wild. I've already seen some of the big box stores putting out the Black Friday displays.
Yeah, Black Friday's lost its luster.
It has.
And it did have a dark side. We all A lot of us, I'm sure, remember stories of stampedes and fights and all this craziness. People piled up at the door, bamming on it like they're a horde of zombies wanting to get in and get that really good deal. And it's not what it used to be, right? And I don't think the deals are as good as they used to be.
No.
And I really don't see the point anymore.
And I also noticed that a lot of these retailers are just having like, oh, it's our Black Friday all month long.
Right.
Yeah.
Which is kind of makes sense, really.
It does. But I guess folks are Christmas shopping now. So you will not find me in a store from now until after Christmas.
No.
I'm not going to do it.
I do not want to compete for the cheap goods.
No, not at all.
Right.
Gosh. All right. I guess folks are getting their Christmas underway. I wonder if anybody's put up a tree yet. Do we have any listeners who've got their trees up? I always wait till Thanksgiving to put up my tree.
And that was a bit more traditional. I actually heard on the radio just the other day that more and more people are putting them up not long after Halloween.
I've heard that. I've seen some folks on social media with trees. I mean, obviously people I don't know, but they're already decorating for Christmas, and it just seems really early for that.
Well, maybe they just really love it.
But I have noticed all of the Christmas decorations are in stores, the wrapping paper, the Santa hats,
Gosh,
the lights.
I like Christmas, but they just they put that stuff out earlier and earlier every year, it seems.
Well, when you grow up and you're an adult person, it kind of loses its luster. I mean, Christmas really, let's be honest, it's for kids.
It is.
The magic of Christmas, that feeling, the excitement. I mean, I think it's for kids. And as you grow up, I mean, you can still celebrate and enjoy Christmas, but I feel like that magic isn't what it used to be.
Well, no, it isn't. And then you just realize it's the Rockefeller Christmas.
It's an expensive holiday.
It's really just about padding the bottom lines for so many mega companies that really kind of takes the luster out.
Yeah.
All right.
We're just delivering the most depressing episode of all time.
We even ruined Christmas.
Well, sorry, guys.
Oh, my gosh.
Just pissing on your parade today.
But if you love Christmas, I hope you have just the most fabulous time.
I know. And if you have like a beautiful tree or your house looks awesome, you can always send us a photo, mountainmurderspodcast@gmail.com. Shoot us a DM. I like to see that stuff.
We'll just live vicariously through you.
Yeah, we will. Because homeboy over here is probably not going to put up lights this year.
Well, that's not true.
It's not?
No.
But you say you're going to, and then you don't want to.
Well, every year I want to.
Okay. Well, I guess that counts for something.
All right. So until next time, don't
stand in line for 2 hours to buy like a discounted pair of pants.
Don't do that, and don't kill your wife or husband because you're being sextorted.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a good idea.
Don't do it.
Bye.
Bye.